I know. Sorry, we are a bit late. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samastajana Kalyane Nirakam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. So welcome to the third one, intellectual transformation. What was the acronym for the first one? So FIT means? Be fit, mind your intake, be tidy, do the test. For emotional, peace. P for T for A. C. Compassion. Evolve. Pull. Evolve, don't revolve. So two volunteers now, quickly. Jaldi. Stand here. Facing the TV. So now the activity is read the words.
Blue, red, yellow, green, purple, blue, green, yellow, purple, red, blue, yellow, red, purple, red, blue, yellow, red, red, blue, red, green, yellow, purple, blue, red, green, blue, blue, yellow, purple, blue, yellow, green, red, purple, yellow.
Very good. Give them a big round. Now the next step. You have to read the word. Huh? You have to read the word, but you should say the word of the color. So blue is written in red, so instead of blue you have to say red. Red is written in purple, you have to say purple, like that.
What is this color called?
Purple.
That is not purple.
Okay, maroon. Whatever.
Maroon.
अरे रिकॉर्ड बटन दबाओ वहाँ पे बस रिकॉर्ड बटन है वहाँ पे लाल कलर का इसको दबाओ 1, 2, 3, start.
Red, maroon, blue, yellow, green, blue, red, green, blue, yellow, blue, purple.
Out. It's not red, it's purple. Maroon, whatever.
Maroon, green, yellow, red, maroon, yellow, green, yellow.
Maroon, purple, red, green,
maroon, yellow, red, maroon, green,
green,
blue, red, maroon, blue,
purple,
yellow, green, red.
Very good.
Slow it was.
slowly.
So what is the learning? In this activity, what is the learning? It gets challenging.
What you
No,
are
I
seeing
think
is
so.
different.
We are used to certain pattern of reading, so we probably do it much faster. But when you change the approach,
You're trying to read the words and the color comes up and it's a little confusing.
So what is the learning part of it?
With association of color with the word, after seeing it is more effort. Like you use your mind to see the.
Agreed, but learning what na, you are describing only the process. What is the learning out of it?
If something is different from usual,
It's not that.
We are used to certain
It's something
pattern.
else.
We are used to certain
mind
pattern.
associates that word with a certain color, that should match. If it doesn't, then confusion.
Okay, that's the logic behind it, the reasoning.
I sing this, but it's not going on.
So the learning, please bet you. Learning is very simple in this activity. The different learnings one can take out of it. Number one is that it is constantly you are discriminating. You are not saying what is seen. You are discriminating. This is blue, but this is not blue. This is red. When you, the second activity when you are doing, you are constantly discriminating, not believing what you are seeing. Okay. Intellect comes into play for discrimination. Number one. Number two, it is concentration. Lot of concentration is required. Number three, perseverance is required. Because one has to persist in that discrimination continuously. It cannot happen. There are no words which are there in the same color in which it is written. So, persistence, concentration, discrimination, alertness, to be in the present. At that moment, you cannot think anything else except this one thing. So these are aspects of intellectual transformation. And so this activity actually summarizes the whole intellectual transformation. It is a good way to just get the people dynamic. So our acronym for the intellectual transformation will be CLEAR. CLEAR. So I am going to come to basic questions now. First, when we go about this transformation, we have to make the first fundamental aspect clear. What is the difference between mind and intellect? Because till I came to Vedanta, I didn't know there is a word called intellect, which is separate from mind. Generally, we say body, mind, soul. People use that. In Chinmaya Mission and Vedanta and Vikram, we say body, mind, intellect, soul separately. So, what is the difference between mind and intellect?
mind feels and has the emotions, intellect discriminates.
Simple. Mind is the state of emotions and feelings, and intellect is the faculty of thinking. Of course, emotions we experience, and then we also experience them through thought. So the difference between intellect and mind is one simple difference. We don't go too much of technicality. One is faculty of feeling, one is faculty of thinking. So when we say feeling, where do we touch? Heart. Nobody says I am feeling angry. I feel angry. I am feeling proud. I am feeling happy. And when we say think, where do we touch? Here. We don't say I am thinking. Here. So just to clear, one is head, one is heart. Of course, everything is from brain only coming out. Nothing is happening inside the heart that way. But just to make it clear to the children also. So logical thinking, analysis, discrimination, concentration, decision making, purpose, perseverance, all these different aspects are for the intellect. Education is actually supposed to sharpen all these. It gives us a lot of information and does help in some ways. But how to think, how to come to a decision, what is the purpose of life, how to persevere in spite of obstacles, all these one doesn't know, one doesn't learn. Hence, intellectual transformation becomes extremely important. What is intellectual transformation? If you have to say, "Ki, I want to transform intellectually," what would you expect? Little more clearer on that. Change the way we think.
Start listening to your intellect.
Free the way. Become more free. Look at things differently.
Do without emotion.
Not being influenced by emotion. Okay.
Use a lot more discrimination.
Use much more discrimination. Fine.
Learn how to live besides how to make a living.
Okay. We have given a very simple aspect here to achieve, identify and achieve life's vision through clarity in thinking. Simplest. मोरे वहाँ पे ऊपर एक बटन है, वो zoom करो थोड़ा. It is zoomed up. बस then leave it.
You understand.
That's it. So to identify, even to identify the vision of life or goal of life, and then how to achieve that through proper thinking is what we expect in this module. Hence we have chosen the acronym called CLEAR. Now why do we need intellectual transformation? You will be stunned because many places they won't even choose this. They will say, "वो तो हम पढ़ रहे हैं ना, we don't need, we need emotional transformation." Of course we need emotional. But even intellectual transformation, what is the power of the intellect, how to use it, so many basic aspects we are not taught in education. So the statistics you have seen, 25% of Indian professionals are considered employable. One is that from skill set standpoint, that what is taught in the education and what is the skill required outside is not matching. Other is the attitude standpoint also, from the clarity in their thinking about the knowledge that they have, about the attitude to work, their approach. So attitude aspect we cover through the emotional transformation, but the aptitude aspect, whether they are in the right field, whether how to make a decision properly, how to even work with what you say, the different constraints that are there and yet achieve the goal. So many of those factors are not known. Hence they say the soft skill training is to be important. So 25% is considered employable. So one has to actually ask a simple question. Many of us are steering a wheel that isn't even attached to our true calling. That's one of the reasons why one doesn't succeed. And second is also because if you see all these complacency, corruption, suicides, depression, a lot of these also come out of lack of clarity in the thinking. And I don't know what I need to do. Two days back there was, 2 days or yesterday, there was Engineers Day. Yesterday? Yesterday there was Engineers Day. One of the very frequently asked questions from the engineers is, why did I choose engineering? While they are studying itself, they realize that. Why did I choose? Some external pressure they have chosen. So the idea is that one needs to be very clear about these basic aspects of life. We will see how corruption and all these also come because of intellectual issues. So our acronym is this. C is for clarity in thinking. L, love what you do. E, we need excellent teamwork. A, act in the present. And R is result acceptance. So we'll go one by one. Clarity in thinking. Majority of the problems come because of lack of clarity in thinking. You think about it. What is corruption? Is the thinking which is gone wrong, where one thinks that means are not as important as the goal, where one thinks that greed is fine, where one thinks that if everybody is doing it, why should I not do it? If one thinks about anger, what is anger? Again, the thinking has gone wrong. Many people consider anger as a sign of power. Though it is not denied that it's an emotion and is coming out of attachment to something that I seek, but why am I attached to that thing? Because my thinking is not clear. I think that when I get that, then only I will be happy. So I am attached to it. And now if anything comes between me and that object, I get angry. So even emotional disturbances, even the external social issues, why do continuously people do wrong things? Because the thinking is, I can get away with it, it's okay. So a lot of these come because of lack of clarity in thinking. And so the first aspect is this, that we need to understand the importance of clarity in thinking. Any questions we will take at the end. So we say that there are 4 types of thinking. One is when action is done without any thinking. So no thinking only. Mindlessly one acts without proper thinking. Many times we ask those questions about spiritual practices. Why should I go to a temple? I don't want to go to a temple. Because one thing, that action is not logical. I don't see any reasoning behind it. So I don't want to do it. So one wants to know the thinking behind it. But same thing one doesn't apply in many other aspects. So mindlessly one acts. No thinking. Give me some examples.
My children also just going on a drinking binge because their friends are taking action. You are drinking because taking drugs or smoking.
That example is applicable for wrong thinking. Because their thinking there is drinks is equal to pleasure, drinks is equal to belonging in the peer group. That's wrong thinking. I am asking no thinking. Mindlessly one just does it. And then one wonders, why did I do this? I should not have done this. What did I think when I was doing this?
When we are absent-minded, we are doing many things, and we are not really involved in it.
Yeah, example.
We answer what somebody. Because we react without even answer.
So many impulsive actions come under this, where thinking does not get involved. One just does it. Then sees the consequence later on. Partial thinking, where one has not thought through the full consequence of it. Example is that career choice, choice to even, let us say, the choice of certain types of people. So when we do that, the thinking may not be full. Under some pressure, I said, okay, I will do this. It's a partial thinking. Then is wrong thinking, where I expect something which is not even there. So drinking is equal to pleasure, anger is equal to power. I am this body, going from a more deeper aspect, I am this body, again the wrong thinking. And then last comes the right thinking. How to think in the right way. We don't know only how to think in the right way. Purpose of education is to teach us how to think actually, not subjects. That is, through the subjects one learns how to think then. But if only information I am going to learn or process, then I am not learning how to think. So 4 types of thinking. Now in this, What is important is to focus on the last one and sharpen that. Then the other three go away. Right thinking. There are three aspects to that right thinking. One is moral clarity, second is role clarity, and third is goal clarity. So coming to the first one, moral clarity. Clarity is the power to discriminate between right and wrong, good and pleasant. Simplest definition where somebody needs to know what is clarity. So we come to this question, is there something called right and wrong? Yes or no? Not many people
It
believe
depends
that.
on the circumstances.
See?
Based on the universal truths, there are some basic rights. And again, depending on the circumstances, discriminate.
See, depending on circumstances, the understanding and application of right and wrong can definitely change, but that does not deny that there is something right and wrong in any situation. And there may also be grey areas, no doubt, but the importance of discrimination is to be able to use the power to understand in that grey area how to distinguish black and white, or how to know what is right and wrong. What it depends on, we will see next. But you will be surprised when you go out. Today's generation does not believe anything is called right and wrong. They just say there's nothing called right and wrong, it's all relative. It's a very common expression. They don't know what is the meaning of that, but they repeat it like parrots. Because every intellectual, so-called intelligent person who says, I am free, I am not bound, rules cannot bind me, I don't want to get disciplined, I don't believe anything called right and wrong exists. So, that is the reason why we say that what are the factors to consider in decision making between right and wrong. They keep changing, no doubt. But we have to be very clear about that, that there is right and wrong. Now, generally to kill is not appropriate. So, according to universal value, first decision to judge or decide is, first criteria to decide is this, that whether it is universally applicable. So if I want to be loved, if I want to be respected, if I want to be forgiven, I want to be cared for, I should do that to others. I cannot say that I will do whatever I feel like doing, because there is nothing called right and wrong. Universal values will decide what is right and wrong. So going by the universal value, to kill anybody is not right, because I don't have the capacity to give life, one. Two, I don't expect that others will come and kill me. I want to live. I need to give that same treatment to other person. Live and let live. But can we say that going by that logic, then Arjun is justified when he wants to run away? He doesn't want to fight in the battlefield because he is giving this logic. Universal value. Killing is not good. I don't want to kill. If an army soldier says that, then what will happen? Yeah, so right and wrong depends on many factors. So the good motive also decides what is right and wrong. A doctor does the operation and the patient dies. The motive is not to kill. So one cannot blame the doctor. So there may be universal values, there are good motives, also there is the stage of life and the role in life. As a student, certain things are right for me to do and wrong for me not to do. If I just keep bunking and I don't study properly and I just keep whiling away my time, that is not right. One cannot say that no, it's my life, I decide to do what I want. There are so many other factors associated there. So much the parents are struggling to provide that education. So much the country is investing on it. So the stage of my life and my role as a student, I am not doing justice. So the same thing applies to Arjun. His role as a warrior, he was not justifying that when he said, I want to go away. So many such factors come into play. One's own temperament. If I am not made for something, even if it is something very attractive or very lucrative, it is not right for me to indulge in that because that's not what is my swadharma. We will come to that little more later. Many times it is sacrifice versus compromise. That also decides. What is the difference between sacrifice and compromise?
You have the low of the higher side.
Giving up the higher for the lower is compromise. Giving up the lower for the higher is sacrifice. Correct? So, in certain situations, one does sacrifice. So, if Buddha decides to go away, from a universal value standpoint, it may not be appropriate saying he is supposed to take care of his father, mother, from his stage in life, role in life standpoint. But from a sacrifice, compromise standpoint, he did a sacrifice. And how many millions of people across the world are benefited when he awakened? Does my mind remain peaceful and integrated? Is there a conscience prick? When I do anything which is not right, there will be a conscience prick. That what is it that makes me stay peaceful when I decide?
So this is a dangerous yardstick, sir. The first time round, my conscience will pay the most. And at the 10th time, when I'm doing it, I already died.
No, conscience would not die, I choose to ignore it.
Right.
So conscience still pricks and I do not remain integrated.
And I've adjusted my value system by then. By the 10th time, my value system has been adjusted.
And value system may have been adjusted, but conscience prick will never stop, because if that stops, there is no possibility of transformation back to what one is. It may become small, it may be that I may totally choose to ignore it, but subconsciously it will continue to remain an effect, which is there. And that's why this criteria is not the first criteria. Because many people go there by this, I feel peaceful. But just because you feel peaceful doesn't mean anything. Is the mind and intellect integrated? If there is even a little bit of compromise, the mind and intellect will not be integrated, because intellect knows that this is the right thing to do. And this can apply even in simple things where there is no moral dilemma. Like example, if I know that I am supposed to do, let us say, one mala of japa, and I don't do that one mala of japa, there is a conscience prick which will be there. If I know that I have to do exercise daily, let us say even 3 days a week, and I don't do it, there will be a conscience prick there, the personality will be disintegrated. So this doesn't apply only to moral conflicts, but this will apply even to simple aspects of life. That what I am supposed to do and I don't do, then I lose that much of strength within me. That integration goes away. What will lead to maximum good of people? That is also an important criteria to help us to get out of selfishness. We have just put down these few points which can help us to know what is right and what is wrong. At different circumstances, different aspects may apply in our life. But these are criteria to know. Everywhere all points can't apply, obviously. But these are different criteria to consider while deciding, especially when there are grey areas and confusion. So now 2 examples. So here is an example. This is an example from South India. There is this person, and he is from Kerala. The person who is in this white shirt and dhoti, and that is his family, and next to him is an actor called Parthiban. So this person's name was Suresh, and he is a lottery ticket seller. And there is a person called Ayyappan who came to him one day and he said, I want to buy these 4 tickets. So he said, Ki, you reserve these 4 tickets for me. He paid a little money. He said, I don't have money for the full thing. I will give it to you in the evening. So evening when the result came, the lottery, one of those lotteries was for 1.4 crores. And that ticket won that. Now this man has not yet come and bought that ticket. So what would anybody do in that situation? They would say, okay, on pockets it. But this man, he went, found this Ayyappan, gave him the ticket, said, this is your ticket and this lottery you have won. So the Ayyappan said, look, I have not even bought the ticket fully. You can keep it and you use it. He said, no, I will give it to you. And he gave it. So there was one function and he was given some best humanitarian award, and this actor Parthiban came and he was given that certificate and award and some cash prize and all that. So the idea is that many times we see a lot of corruption and so many other things happening all around us. But there are examples of people who are able to be honest also and who are able to do what they feel is right to do. Here is another example of somebody who, I don't know if you know him. Do you know him? Popat Rao Pawar. So he is a person, you read about this. He had a very lucrative job in the city. He studied in the village in which he was there in Maharashtra, which is the village. I'm not able to read here. In Hirve Bazaar, yeah. Hirve Bazaar. So there they do not have proper water and monsoons are not there, and he lives in this village and he was working in the city. He said, I need to go back to my village and give back. So there is unemployment also in the village and there is water problem also and many other issues there. So he decides that okay, I will come back and I will start contributing in this for my village, and he chooses this rainwater harvesting and all that work. So they plant about 1500 trees in a specific place near their village, and they go systematically, they go through the whole process where those 1500 trees, when they are there, the water table in the ground rises, and they put some condition that you cannot plant trees which are high water consumption like sugarcane or banana or rice. You cannot take cattle inside that. You cannot go inside that area for the, what you say, for your daily routine. So all those things they did, and slowly the water table started rising. The rainwater, then they started building check dams and rainwater harvesting and a lot of other steps which they did. So as a result, what happened is they were given by the Union Ministry of Water the first National Water Award for community-led water conservation. And this person did all this just because he felt so much of gratitude that I need to go back to my village and use the knowledge that I have acquired for the benefit of my village.
नाइनटीन 1972 से लेके 89 तक जो गांव एक ड्राउट प्रॉन गांव है, 200-300 मिलीमीटर की रेनफॉल है, और इसके कारण भूख थी, गरीबी थी, रोजगार नहीं था, क्वालिटी एजुकेशन नहीं था, पीने का पानी नहीं था, सिंचाई की सुविधा नहीं थी, करके लोग गांव छोड़ के शहर जा रहे थे। और जो लोग गांव में बसे थे वो क्या करते थे, उनका एकमात्र रोजगार का साधन था लोकल लीकर प्रिपरेशन, ड्रिंकिंग और फाइटिंग। इसके कारण गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट के लिए ये पनिशमेंट पोस्टिंग वाला विलेज बन गया। और पनिशमेंट पोस्टिंग के कारण गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम गांव में आनी बंद हो गई और गांव की हालात इतनी खराब हो गई। सानमई भी एक ऐसा आदमी था जो गांव छोड़ के पढ़ाई के लिए शहर जाना पसंद किया। एमकॉम तक पढ़ाई हो गई। पुणे यूनिवर्सिटी से मैं 2 टाइम्स क्रिकेट नेशनल खेला हूँ, स्टेट महाराष्ट्र क्रिकेट टीम से खेला, मुंबई पुणे में खेलता था, अच्छा करियर बन सकता था। लेकिन 89 में मैं जब गांव में गया तब गांव की हालात मैंने देखी। पूरा परिवार अपोज में आया कि खुद का करियर देख, गांव का करियर छोड़ दे। लेकिन ऐसा हुआ नहीं। मुझे मेरा बचपन याद आ गया, यूथ और महिलाओं का सपोर्ट मिला और मैंने गांव में काम करना पसंद कर दिया। जब शुरुआत हुआ एक 7 बिंदु से लेके हम लोगों ने काम किया। वो 7 बिंदु ये थे: चराईबंदी, कुल्हाड़बंदी, परिवार नियोजन, नशाबंदी, श्रमदान, ओपन ग्रीजिंग बैन, ग्राउंड वाटर मैनेजमेंट, क्रॉप मैनेजमेंट। इससे लेके जब हमारा काम शुरू हुआ तो इसके कारण सॉइल और वाटर कंजर्वेशन का काम बना और सॉइल वाटर कंजर्वेशन के काम के कारण गांव में बदलाव सा आ गया। जहाँ रेनफीड क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न था वहाँ कैश क्रॉप आ गए और इसके कारण गांव की आय बढ़ गई। 800 रुपये से लेके 30,000 पर कैपिटा इनकम बढ़ गई। इसके कारण ये हाईएस्ट जीडीपी वाला गांव देश में बन गया। और एक हाईएस्ट जीडीपी वाला गांव जब बन गया तब अपने आप लोग जो शहर गए थे वापस गांव में आने शुरू। करीबन 112 परिवार मुंबई, पुणे, ठाणे छोड़ के हिवरे बाजार में वापस आ गए। दोस्तों, आप हैरान हो जाएंगे, मुंबई ऐसा शहर है पर कैपिटा 300 लीटर पानी यूज करता है। 50 परिवार गांव में चले गए, मुंबई का 2 लाख लीटर पानी हम लोगों ने बचा लिया। यही कहा था, अगर एक आत्मनिर्भर गांव बन जाएगा तो एक बलशाली भारत बन जाएगा। गांव और शहर का रिलेशन बनेगा तो हमारा देश बनेगा। यही काम हमने किया। एक तो गांव बन गया, अभी हमारा मॉडल एनजीओ मॉडल बन गया, सीएसआर मॉडल बन गया। इतना ही नहीं, पीआरआई मॉडल बन गया। इसलिए महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट ने मुझे महाराष्ट्र स्टेट लेवल कमेटी का एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरमैन बना दिया और आज महाराष्ट्र के हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 5 मॉडल गांव आज हमारे बन रहे हैं। इतना ही नहीं, भारत सरकार के ग्राम विकास मंत्रालय ने एक अनाउंसमेंट कर दी हिवरे बाजार में आके कि हिवरे बाजार और हिवरे बाजार की लीडरशिप का क्लोन हम बनाएंगे और भारत में 100 मॉडल गांव बनाएंगे। इसलिए स्टेट नेशनल लेवल की एक रूरल डेवलपमेंट की इंस्टीट्यूट आज हिवरे बाजार में बनने जा रही। इतना ही नहीं, करीबन आज तक 112 कंट्री से लोग हिवरे बाजार विजिट करने आए थे। एक वक्त था रोजगार नहीं, फूड सिक्योरिटी नहीं करके लोग गांव छोड़ के शहर जाते थे। आज साउथ अफ्रीकन माइग्रेटरी बर्ड्स साउथ अफ्रीका से हमारे गांव में आ रहे। ऐसा एक क्लीन इन्वायरमेंट और पानीदार गांव बन गया और इसके कारण गांव की दारिद्र्य रेखा मिट गई, डेयरी डेवलप हो गई, कैश क्रॉप आ गया। और आज ये हिवरे बाजार आज पूरे देश में एक मिसाल सा बन गया है करके इंटरनेशनल लोकली टू ग्लोबली ऐसा एक काफ़ी अच्छा तरक्की शुरू हो गई। लेकिन इसमें एक डिसीजन भी किया था लोगों ने। एक था, एकमात्र मुस्लिम परिवार के लिए मस्जिद का निर्माण गांव के लोगों ने किया। एक ईसाई घर बन गया, एक बौद्ध धाम बन गया। सब लोग साथ आ गए, वाटर मैनेजमेंट, क्रॉप मैनेजमेंट किया और इसके कारण अभी गांव में कोई लड़ाई नहीं, झगड़े नहीं। एक वक्त था पुलिस डायरी में ब्लैक लिस्टेड गांव था और आज ये गांव में पुलिस वालों की जरूरत ही नहीं है। और एक नारा लगा दिया लोगों ने, एक मच्छर दिखाओ 100 रुपए ले लो। मुंबई की और डेंगू की हालात कैसी हम सबको पता है। तो यही काम हिवरे बाजार में हुआ है और इसके कारण आज हम सब मिलके जो चिंता हम सबके सामने गांव और शहरों से रिलेशन से लेके उसका जो गैप है हम कर देंगे और बापू का सपनों वाला एक बलशाली भारत निर्माण करेंगे। यही बात रखकर मैं अपनी बात खत्म करता हूँ।
So though he was very well off in the city and he was elected as a sarpanch in 1989, and his family was actually very upset that why did you come back? But he chose to stay back in this city. And many developments he did after that also. The rainwater harvesting was only the first thing that he took up there. Employment generation and education and so many other things that he did. Uh, so the idea is that this decision of his, that should I come back or should I stay? Should I stay in the city or should I come back? What do you think prompted that decision of his? One is what he felt for his village. Anything else? So those. So one is maximum good of people. Second is the sacrifice and compromise part of it. Third is his role. His role in his as a community member of that village. How many people think like that? That's why so many people think even today that I will go away abroad, I will settle abroad, I will do this, I will do that. But how much is there in India which needs change? How much can we give back? Not that people who are going abroad are not giving back, they also give back in some different ways through their NRI contribution and all that. But what India requires more is the people to stay here and give back. So what is my criteria for decision making should also be influenced by these higher aspects, not just what is important to me and my family. So this is one aspect about moral clarity. So second, we come to the role clarity. That one should write down what are the different roles that one is playing. You can take 2 minutes and write down what are the different roles that I am playing. Anybody wants to share? Share.
You're a wife, a mother, a daughter-in-law, now you're a student out here, you're employing your servants, you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a friend. I mean, those are ones that just snap. They just come off the top of your head.
Anyone else?
Citizen, citizen, yeah. Citizen of your country, the world, society, member of society where you live.
Confidant, mentor,
Confident, mentor, seeker.
Most important.
So the idea of writing down this is to become conscious, because what roles I hold in my conscious mind is what I am going to live by. So it is also important to prioritize these roles. One of the reasons why Arjun got confused is because of what we call as confusion amongst the roles and one role taking over the other. So am I doing the duty in all the roles is an important question to ask. Because many roles may not be important at the moment to me, but I can still play my duty in those roles in smaller ways. As a citizen of the country, as a member of my society or a community, or even Hindu culture. How many people wrote down that I have a duty towards Hindu culture? Huh? That's your role as a sevika, but do you consider that as my contribution to Hindu culture? Then it is fine. So there are different roles that we play, and not every role needs full attention at the moment, leaving everything else. There will be priorities, no doubt. But in a way, there are roles which are separate, but in a way, they all are something which I am to live at every moment. Because I am a part of this country, I am a part of this culture, I am a part of the environment, the universe, everything. So in my own ways, small ways, I can give back. So one is that am I doing my duty in these roles? And second is that is there any role which is overshadowing another role? So in Arjun's case, that was what was happening. His role as a warrior was completely shadowed by his role as a grandson, student, relative. And this typically happens to everybody. So when a person is, let us say, I have a role as a student and I have a role as a friend. Now what do? I always allow the role of as a friend to compromise my role as a student. If all my friends say, come on, let us bunk this class and go to a movie, chalo, we'll all go to the movie, happily gone. My role as a father and my role, let us say, my role as a professional and my role as a family person. So many times that happens that the family doesn't get my time because I am so much engrossed in my profession. Two simple examples given here, but like that one can see many different examples where the roles they shadow. So if I know this, that balancing our roles is very important in life, I will be alert. When I get up late in the morning, what happens? My role as a seeker is compromised first. पूजा जाने दो कोई बात नहीं पहले जल्दी तैयार हो जाओ खाना खाओ और go to the office or whatever next. Continuously, this keeps happening to us. So the role clarity is how to balance my roles. At least the awareness that I have roles should come first, then I can balance. So in clarity in thinking, first we saw moral clarity, then we saw role clarity. Now we come to goal clarity. That what is my goal in life? At this moment, what is your goal in life? Immediate, quickly, anybody? Wow, wow. That's the easiest answer to give in a spiritual class in any case. So apart from moksha, what is the goal in life? Because honestly I tell you, we don't act keeping moksha in mind all the time. We need something else also in this life as a short-term goal or even a long-term goal to work towards.
What we are doing now, contributing towards the country, to the improvement of the country, whichever way you can. Live in harmony.
Huh? No, I am asking what is your goal in your life today. Are you operating from this? Then it's wonderful. If you have a goal saying, okay, my goal is in the next 3 years I must have a bigger house, or I must have a better standard of living, or I must ensure that my children get settled, or my daughter must get married, whatever. Some goal must be there or not. Because abstract goals don't motivate us. One of the reasons why moksha doesn't motivate us that much every minute of my life is because it's something very abstract, far away, and my immediate life is something else.
My goal, Swami, is the day I came here, I was just thinking and I got my goal. My goal was number one, was to be in perfect health by
See.
12th August 2015.
So very good. So that's a goal now. Okay, I want to be in perfect health. Now I want to work towards that.
Number two, to do this course and implement it in this way. And number three, to become the hobbies I always had, I didn't pursue them. To start the result. I've given myself 12 hours 2015. How much I do and what I achieve, I've got.
Management, that is called SMART goal. It should be specific, it should be measurable. I want to lose weight is a specific goal but not a measurable goal. You should say, I want to lose weight by 8 kilos. It should be achievable. Don't say that I am going to, unreasonable goal that I set suddenly, okay, another 40 kilos I should lose. It has to be achievable. Not that 40 kilos reduction is not achievable. If somebody is of that magnitude and they need to reduce 40, then they need to reduce 40. For them it is achievable and they better achieve it. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound. Within how much time? So why do I need goal first of all? You see what happens, especially when we go to the youth, their immediate goal may be just get through an exam or get certain percentage or get admission in this particular institute. But why do I need these goals? Because many won't even have goals. Yeah. Basic points. Goal will manifest the dormant potential in us. Goal will help us to become focused in life and goal helps us to work as a team. 3 simple points. This one. Manifest our dormant potential. If I don't set a goal, my potential will not get manifested because something to look forward is not there. Gurudev used to give a classic example of how Indians were all united and working for the freedom of the country, but after that there was no national goal in mind, so everybody's energies got dissipated. Dr. Abdul Kalam came and gave us the goal, India 2020, but who took it up? Few organizations individually took it up, but as a country nobody took it up. So we are where we are. Worse than what we were in that NDA rule. Come down so much. Why? No goal. No national goal at all. So if the goal is there, potential will get manifested. Energies get focused towards that goal. And then a person is able to also understand that let us come together and work together, because the goal, if it is higher, that is what helps. Teamwork. So we come in this aspect to the highest goal. A person must keep a high goal in mind. This is a beautiful line by Dr. Kalam saying, small aim is a crime. Literally, small aim is a crime. Why? Because small aim is the cause of corruption and greed in the world. I think only for myself. Don't think that people who are doing big scams and multi-crore scams, they think big, so they do big scams. No, they think petty. By small, I don't mean that only little thinking. It means even petty thinking. That they don't think for the larger good. They only think I, me, mine, how much money I can make, how much I can cheat, how much I can get smart and get away. That is petty, and that's a crime. So one who keeps the vision highest, so that person is called as Partha. Literally the meaning of Partha is one who aspires for the highest, who doesn't compromise in that. And so Gurudev told us that higher the vision is, greater is the inspiration. Somebody may argue saying, no, or a higher vision means higher stress also. Higher vision doesn't give higher stress. If I am inspired by it, I keep going. If I don't have competence, if I don't have resources, if I don't have people, then it gives stress. So here is that famous video.
दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म
कृपणः फलहेतवः
Dhurena, by far. He indeed, avaram, lower karma. You are sweating and toiling and your actions. Your selfish actions, prompted by your ego and egocentric selfish desires, in which the millions are sweating and toiling from morning till evening. That karma, it is only prompted by instincts and impulses. It is like animals suffering or running about. It is pure labor. It is not the man of achievement. Mere laborers. Durena, by far lesser, is this unnecessary sweating and toiling in the world outside, complaining of the tension, stress and strain of life. That is not real work. Work is inspired work, where the worker never understands tiredness, exhaustion. The joy of that work itself replenishes the true worker. Durena hyavaram karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Hey Arjuna, please understand, as compared with the buddhi yoga, where you have got an ideal and you are pursuing to reach the ideal. It's an inspired enthusiasm with which you are living. That joy of true work is any day nobler than all the amount of buckets of sweat and toil that you bring out of you, the exhaustion and fatigue you bring about physical. That is only labor. That is not work. Durena Buddhau Sharanam Anvecha. My dear boy, work in the world outside. Who said no? But Buddhau Sharanam Anvecha. Maintain your ideal and work on in the world outside. And when you are maintaining an ideal, let not the ideal be a small ideal. Say that $1 million I want. If the moment I earn 1 million, I am retired. Eh? Because you may get it. Thereafterwards in life you are dead. You have nothing to do. Never. Keep the goal highest. So high that you will never reach. Sanji, why should I keep an ideal which I cannot reach? Reaching the ideal is not the goal. Striving to reach it, that is the moment when you grow. Once you've reached your goal, your ideal, everything is ended. Thereafterwards you have to inquire how to die decently. Because you have finished. Everything has been done. Never should you reach the goal. Keep the goal high. Don't say there is an impractical method. No. Because reaching the goal is not the goal. Striving to reach there is the goal. Try to reach out to the goal. You grow day by day, week by week. Buddha.
So what is the point? If somebody says that no, we should never reach the goal, what do you say? Is this discouraging us from reaching the goal?
No. Keeps you alive. You have something to look forward to, something to work towards.
Some people it can work as a because I mean when they're doing it, it's like how you keep a watch is fast. 5 minutes ahead. Always compromise. If the mind knows always that the watch is 5 minutes late, it's ahead. So instead of reaching 5 minutes early or on your time, I'm going to be 5 minutes late because I think the day is anyway fast. For some people it might work that way. But anyway, I know it's not reachable, so why should I try? But striving only is not there. They lose the kind of the purpose of the entire exercise. And anyway, it's not reachable.
That person will not reach any goal that is set in any case. because that thinking only is going to pull that person down. So the purpose of the video is not to make us discouraged. The idea is just to set a very high goal which constantly inspires us. So the line to be focused on is not that never should you reach the goal. The line to be focused on is striving to reach the goal is the goal. That which keeps me always in a mode of striving. And that's why the earlier aspect about inspiration. And if I'm inspired by it, then I will do it. But if I'm not inspired by a goal, if it's just an unreasonable target which is set, which is what happens and which is why people get stressed out in corporate world also. Some target is kept very high and then they are not inspired by it and then they struggle through it and then the stress is there and it's a cycle. But if I'm inspired by it, then I keep working. Now, who is he? Andrea Bassi. And this is what he said in his biography. I play tennis for a living even though I hate tennis. Hate it with a dark and secret passion, always have. Why are we giving this example? And to contrast it is Sachin Tendulkar, who says, I don't play for records, I love cricket, I always focus on playing well for my country. I've enjoyed my joyful journey. Now, both are successful.
Not money wise, not monetary wise, but on a daily living basis, his life is so much richer and more enjoyable. Imagine getting up and hating what you do, what a waste of again, so much energy goes to waste.
If I remember correctly, he started playing tennis because of his father. It was also the duty that he owed as he was to his father and to excel, which he did.
Maybe we excelled so much at tennis is something he hated. If he had done something he loved, he would have had the potential to really legend in that law.
That's the whole point there. That's the reason why that example is given, because he achieved a lot in tennis sheer by the power of willpower and practice. His father was an Iranian boxer and their family was in debt and his father put him into playing tennis. And sheer logic he put him in through was that if you have to handle 25,000 balls every day, just by practice you will become successful. And every day he used to handle, that machine was there and then 25,000 balls he used to play. So he became very successful, he created many records also. So the point why we bring this up is, success alone should not be the criteria for a person to do what one does. That's what brings us to the next aspect, which is love what you do. Because as she said, he may have been successful in tennis, but if he had actually done what he really loved, he would have been much more happier also. And maybe he would have been much more of a legend in that field. So one needs to tell this very clearly and understand this very clearly, that what I really love is my swadharma, is what I must find and be in that field. Then naturally I excel, I get success and I also become happy. And such happy people, they only create a happy and harmonious society. Frustrated people cannot create a happy society, how much ever successful they may be. And so in Swadharma, we work from happiness and not for happiness. Please distribute this. You should take the page number 3 in the sheets which are being distributed. First page you can ignore. Second page we will come later. Third page you will have, what is the third page there?
Find your passion.
Find your passion. Some questions we have given there which can help a person to find one's Swadharma. Nowadays a lot of people go through aptitude tests and all that. So that is one way to find out. But many times it happens that that gives more confusion, because they will say you are gifted in this also, this also, this also. So now again that person is confused. Tell me what to do now. So some of these questions are subjective. If you could do whatever you wanted to do without any obstacles, what would you choose to do with your life? What are the things that fill you with joy and a sense of purpose? When do you like yourself the most? Imagine if Agassi had asked himself this question. Even so, after the family came out of the debt, he could have shifted his profession. What activities that you have done have made you like yourself the most? What are the things you really enjoy and never get bored of doing? Do you spend enough time doing these things? It could even start with hobbies. If I don't have that capacity to devote my life to what I really love, at least I can start doing that in my spare time, what I really love. What actions or job would you be happy doing for the rest of your life, regardless of whatever you are paid, appreciated or recognized for? So these are two aspects which generally define somebody's career choice. One is money, second is fame. If I don't have to get both these, what will I choose? What inspires you the most? Who are the three people who inspired you the most? Is there something that you always wanted to do but haven't gotten around to? Or maybe you weren't ready to take that plunge. If so, what it is? What is it? When you are 90 and wrinkled, if someone said to you, so tell me your story, what would you want your story to be? What do you want the world to remember you for? So I can think backwards then. Yeah, 90, so I have to do this, then right now what is it? What are the things that you do effortlessly? Playing cricket comes effortlessly to Tendulkar, or music comes effortlessly to, let us say, A.R. Rahman. Write down your best achievement. This is something which is very nice. Psychology has said this nicely. If you sit and do this exercise, that between 5 and 10 years, what did you want to be? Between 10 and 15, between 15, that's repeated actually. Between 15, 20, 20, 25, you will find some common aspects. And why do we do this exercise? Because as we grow, many external pressures they take over. But when we are younger, the heart is very clear about certain things. Then we can find that hidden passion which is there. So these are different ways you may find common trends when we answer these questions.
What is the point of the 11th one? Write down the best achievements from the age of 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, so the achievements part is this, that, when I have achieved, let us say in writing, I may have achieved some whatever prizes and trophies and all that. But along the line, when I got into a profession, I've even forgotten that I have that capacity. And creative writing is something which is so inherent in me. A lot of people forget. Drawing, painting, lot of hobbies which turn into hobbies when people don't encourage those. And sometimes hobbies also get left out. So if I start writing my achievements, I will know, okay, I was so good at this. This is one of the ways to come back to a stress-free mind also, where they tell you to do those things which you loved as a child and come back to that. Either as a profession if you like, or even as a hobby, come back to those. Helps to unwind the mind. Yeah, the 11th and 12th, that way there is a slight difference. One is your achievements and other is what you wanted to be at that age. They are two different things. So do what you love is first point. But second point is also important, is to love what you do. We have put it, love what you do what you love. both go together. There are many people who love what they do, so they are very happy. But there are many people who don't love what they do. Huh?
Majority.
A lot of times that happens. They don't love what they do. So that's where the need for fame, recognition, name, all that comes in. If I really love what I'm doing, I just keep doing it. So here is another story. Do you know Monty Roberts? Have you heard of Monty Roberts? Maybe some of you have, some of you have not. So this Monty Roberts, when he was a kid, his father was a person who used to be a horse trainer. He would take care of the horses, train them, and different jobs he shifted, and finally he came to this horse training. And even there he used to keep on he had to keep moving from one place to other. So the education of this boy kept getting interrupted a lot. So in one place where as he was studying, his teacher asked him, not him, the whole class, that write down what is your dream and bring it tomorrow. So he wrote down what is the passion, what is the goal in life. So he wanted to write down. So he was told to write down. So everybody wrote down. And when the teacher saw his paper, the teacher gave him an F grade. Somebody got A, somebody got B, somebody got A plus, but this Monty Roberts, he got F grade. So he went back to the teacher and he said, man, what happened? He said, your dream is very impractical. You will never achieve it. What had he written in that paper? He had written, and he had drawn actually. He had written there that I want to be the owner of a ranch, and I will have my bungalow in between, and I will have so many horses, I will employ so many horse trainers, and I will be, and he had drawn the whole farm, and then the race course, and then in between, in the center is the palace in which he is staying. He had very nicely drawn everything. So the teacher said, this is impractical. Your father is only a horse trainer and you want to become the owner of a ranch. Impossible. Go and change your dream and come back. So this boy, he went back home and he showed it to his father. He said, see, this is what I have done. My dream is this. And my teacher gave me an F. What do you think? And father told him that, my son, it is up to you to decide what you want to be in life, and you can be that. You decide whether you want to change your dream or you want to stick to your dream. That is up to you. So what this Monty Roberts did, he went to the teacher and he said, you keep your F and I will keep my dream. And this is a real life story. And this Monty Roberts actually achieved. He says today Monty Roberts owns 4,000 square feet house in the middle of a 200-acre horse ranch, and he still has that school paper which is now framed over the fireplace.
Here are a few interesting statistics. Henry Ford failed and went broke 5 times before he succeeded. Beethoven handled the violin awkwardly, and he preferred playing his own compositions instead of improving his technique. His teacher called him hopeless as a composer. Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper editor for lack of ideas. Disney also went bankrupt several times before he built Disneyland. Albert Einstein did not speak until he was 4 years old, and he didn't read until he was 7. His teacher described him as mentally slow, unsociable, and adrift forever in foolish dreams. When General Douglas MacArthur applied for admission to West Point, he was turned down not once, but twice. But his third time, he was accepted, and he marched into the history books. Babe Ruth, considered by sports historians to be the greatest athlete of all time, and famous for setting the home run record, also holds the record for the most strikeouts. Dr. Seuss's first children's book, And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, was rejected by 27 publishers. The 28th publisher, Vanguard Press, sold 6 million copies of the book. Never give up on your dreams. You are always going to have people in your life that are stealing or trying to steal your dreams. And unfortunately, it's usually the people that are closest to you. They typically ask the question, well, how in the world are you going to do that? If John F. Kennedy would have had to known how we were going to put a man on the moon before we did it, we would have never had the famous words from Neil Armstrong. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I'm going to suggest to you that your dreams are possible just as long as you can turn off the dream stealers in your life, just like Monty Roberts did. This has been Wes Peterson with Friday's video, and I'll see you next Friday.
So the point is, if you have the dream, follow it. That's what people say now. Follow your passion. Follow your dream. Follow your heart. It's up to us to make that happen. And people who have that conviction in their dream, they will make it happen. So one is to have a high goal. Second is to really be in love with that and to be inspired by that. Now is something very, very nice. Do you know him? Anand Kumar. I'm telling you now, the way in which we live, our media does not hype up any of these things. You see this video, then I'll tell you. I don't have to tell you, the video only will tell you everything. This man has been making difference to so many people, and what he is doing has a potential to impact the country in many different ways.
I would like to start with the real life story of Santosh. Santosh comes from an extremely poor family. He lives in a remote village of Bihar state. He studied in such a school where teachers never come. The school was without windows and door. He had no money to buy books. Every evening he sold vegetable by the side of roads to earn some money for his family. But Santosh was very eager about education. His father knew the importance and power of education. He studied on his own without the help of teacher and managed some old books from his friends. Once he came to know about the program Super 30. He came to me. I was surprised to see his enthusiasm, passion. that he had. He told me that he was ready to do hard work as instructed by me, and I accepted him for my program Super 30. After 2 years, he cleared the joint entrance examination of Indian Institute of Technology. Everyone knows that the entrance test of Indian Institute of Technology is known as the toughest examination of the globe. Despite it, Santosh qualified and become a hot cake of media, even for international media. Many newspapers and magazines around the world cover the story of struggle of Santosh. It is very important to understand from the story that with hard labor and iron determination, an underprivileged boy could change his life from roadside vendor to a very good scientist. Now Santosh is scientist in Belgium, and he participated great meetings with a great scientist. These are not isolated cases. It is really difficult to decide, as most of my students are heroes as they have overcome steep odds. Since beginning, Super 30 has 212 similar stories. Some are words of brick labelers, roadside vendors, auto rickshaw driver, rickshaw pullers, marginal farmers. Now I would like to tell you what Super 30 is. Super 30 is a program for underprivileged students which I had started. I have seen poverty very closely. I know the pain of poverty. My father was a low-paid employee in Department of Postal of Government of India. I wanted to be a great mathematician and was always busy in searching new results in mathematics. I had written some mathematical papers in my college life, and these papers were published in reputed journals. I got an opportunity to study at the University of Cambridge for higher education in mathematics, but due to lack of money, I could not make it. Suddenly, I lost my father. All responsibility of my family come on my soldier. I got an offer for the same job as my father by government, but I refused the offer and started to teach mathematics to the underprivileged student under the banner of Ramanujan School of Mathematics. But we needed some money to survive. My mother made papad and I sold it by visiting door to door. Many times customers embarrassed me. Despite it, I never lost my hope and courage. Gradually, the rush of a student increased and many program become famous among the underprivileged student of Bihar state. Once a very bright student came to me and requested he had no capacity to pay even 500 rupees for a year as my fee. But he assured me that he would pay amount when his father harvests the potato from the farm. I asked, how you will live in Patna to attend my classes? He replied that he would live in a short space under the stair of a house of rich man. I was shocked by this event and recalled my days of hardship. This event becomes source of inspiration to start program Super 30. I called my brother Pranav Kumar, a talented violinist from Mumbai, and planned to start Super 30 program. Pranav helped me earlier also, but now he was directly involved. After a screening test, 30 poor but talented students were shortlisted for the Super 30. Initially, making all arrangements for 30 students was not so easy, but my family extended all help in my endeavors. I generated finance by tutoring students, while my mother, Jayanti Devi, cooked food for the student. For the student, there was only one goal, to study hard and achieve the goal. After the success, I received a lot of offer regarding monetary assistance. Even Anand Mahendra offered me for monetary assistance, but I refused politely. Generally, many people ask me that, Anand, what is the reason that you don't accept financial help? The reason is very clear. I want to prove that even in Bihar, the most backward state of India, if you have keen desire, you can do anything as you wish. The resources and infrastructure are not important, only willpower is needed for the success. When my program started running successfully, I got appreciation. But at the same time, some coaching mafia of Patna organized attack on me. 3 times I was attacked by armed criminals. During attack, one of my non-teaching staff, Munna, was injured very badly. His condition was very serious because a knife was stuck in his stomach. He struggled for life for 3 months in a hospital. Some of my friends asked me as to why I was running Super 30 despite such risk, but I never lost my courage. Government of Bihar provided me 2 armed bodyguards for the safety and security. Still, they are with me, but this is a reason for tension for me. After some time, I received a lot of happiness when results came. First year, 18 students of 30 qualified IIT JEE. Second year, 22 students. Third year, 26. Fourth year, 28. Fifth year, 28 also. And for the last 3 years, all 30 out of 30 students qualified the IIT JEE. In the last 8 years, 212 students qualified the IIT JEE. Now there is no attack by mafia, but they have restored to other tactics to take credit for they have not done. They have started their Super 30s by prefixing or adding some other name like Patna Super 30, Gaya Super 30, even Raja Super 30, Baja Super 30. In the signboard, they write Patna, Gaya, Raja or Baja in very small size letter, but Super 30 in big font. Actually, they want to only earn money. They want to take donation from government as well as from private agency. Almost all news papers and magazine have covered the story of Super 30. Discovery Channel broadcasted 1 hour long program on Super 30. Actress and Miss Japan Norika Fujiwara visited Patna to make a documentary film on Super 30. NHK twice produces 2 films on Super 30. Al Jazeera also made a film on Super 30. Time magazine has selected Super 30 in the list of best of Asia 2010. Recently, the news magazine included my school in the list of 4 most innovative schools of the world. Mukesh Ambani has given me award, Real Hero Award for Super 30 program. Now I want to see underprivileged student educated. I want to increase number of students in Super 30, but it is really a difficult task because we are unable to find more students who want to continue their education despite facing poverty. Mostly students with extremely poor background start to support their parents by earn money from a young age. So I want to open a school from class 6 or 5th. Free school like Super 30. In the school, we will train the student not only for IIT, but also for International Mathematical Olympiad, International Physics Olympiad. I want to see my student as Nobel Prize winner. It is my great dream. I don't know if my dream will fulfill or not, but I know that I have to always labor hard for my goal. Presently, my school run under the teen shed room, but I have dreamed to make a school from class 6. For this school, we don't need any money, many financial help. We need only your moral support, your blessing. And presently, many Bollywood director contacted me they want to make a film on my story Super 30, but I will be privileged if James Cameron make a film on Super 30. किसी काम करने के लिए कोई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, कोई भी मदद की जरूरत नहीं होती, बस हौसला चाहिए. अगर आपके पास हौसला है तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. बुझी हुई समा फिर से जल सकती है. भयंकर से भयंकर तूफान हो, कश्ती निकल सकती है. निराश न हो, मायूस न हो, सिर्फ मेहनत करके देख. गरीबों की, भारत के गरीबों की किस्मत जरूर बदल सकती है. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
In Bihar, in that state, you see his pronunciation in English also. And he is reading from the paper. And he is choosing children from the underprivileged who want to study. As he is saying, most of them they go into work. And to find 30 people, he is finding it struggling. Other coaching classes do what that filtering process and choose the brightest of students. This person doesn't have that luxury. Whoever is having that aspiration and the parent trouble or whatever trouble is there, also they put aside and say, yes, I want to do this. Now imagine these children, these students getting selected, they're getting into IIT, studying, completing. You saw one example only of Santosh. This is an edited talk. He has given actually many more examples before. So all these people, they have a lot of impact on the country. When somebody becomes a scientist, somebody becomes something else, and what they will give back is very different. And coming from such a humble place, so the reason why we show this is also that one is that people don't know about him. Media has done whatever it has done to give some prominence to him, but we are still not aware. Second is also that he followed his passion. He could not become a student in that Cambridge, but he did not leave his passion. He continued to study, teach, as well as do supporting through the selling papad and all that. And his vision is very, very selfless. He says, I don't want your money, I only need your moral support. That's it. The rest will come. And he does the whole training so free. Entire thing is done free. So the idea is this, ki one who does what they love and do love what they do, excellence can happen in spite of all odds. Now guess about whom are we talking? Conceived by a 7-lady team in Girgaon to start their livelihood by utilizing the skill of cooking. Simple, Lijjat Papad. Their annual turnover is 600 crores. So these are some examples. So we saw C for clarity, L for love what you do, E for an excellent team. Everywhere you will see that if anything great has to be achieved, it has to be through teamwork. One of the difficulties we have in our country is this, that individual brilliance is there, but to work as a team we find it tough. So consciously team building must be inculcated. That will come only when we are able to give more prominence to the cause than the individuals. Individual success and failure, if it is given more prominence than a higher purpose, then team building is difficult because everybody defines their own self-esteem and self-worth through their achievements and success, not through their contribution to the country, to the higher cause. If we start measuring that or instilling that in the minds that our success is not because of our achievements, it's because of our contribution, things will start changing. Stephen Covey says this: neither dependence nor independence, but interdependence. That is a important aspect of any modern uh, achievement. You will need interdependence. People skills have to be consciously cultivated. And we do not find that people skills are taught. Even if children do the projects, they are not taught about leadership, empathy, listening, forgiving. None of that is taught. They are just given a project, you do the project. Typically what happens? Some children do it, rest of them they don't even contribute to it. So the people skills which need to get cultivated, they are very crucial, because when they go out, either they will be a team leader or they will be put in some team. And that people skills are not there. Which is there, which should be there even in teachers, by the way, and the parents. So slowly, this concept is in our culture, we call it as the yajna concept. That is just for you and me to know. We don't need to tell that outside. But important thing is, when does a person form a team? When one person understands that the vision that I want to achieve is high, and there should be people, together only we can achieve more. That's the acronym of team. Together everyone achieves more. Team. Now we come to a simple activity. You have the sheet number 2. And you will have just 1 minute, and you have to quickly answer this test. And your time starts now. Yeah, right there.
Yes and no.
It depends what is there. Answer accordingly. Time up. Not done. Last minute, 1 more minute, not more than that. It's a quick test. How can you take so long? Okay, do 1 more minute. Chalo. 20 seconds more. Time up. Not done.
It's like a lot of thinking. Sometimes under the pressure also you have to go faster.
Pressures, the tricky question. About mathematics,
It's like
Okay, so many countries have their own Independence Day. Do they have a 15th of August in Pakistan?
they have a 15th of August, it's not in the August. There's no country without an August.
Exactly. So yes, they have. 15th of August is there in every country. We didn't say is it the Independence Day of Pakistan. How many birthdays does the average human have? Because some people write if you are 70 years and 70 birthdays like that. See? One only, simple. Why can't a man living in Bihar be buried west of the Damodar river?
He's living.
Exactly, he is living. Don't say there is no Damodar river.
No, I don't know. I thought the sea is there. What the Damodar river was, it was left out in the next question.
Yeah, that's the whole point there. कि we think about Damodar river, पता नहीं है कि नहीं और पता नहीं कहाँ. अरे वो living man है. He can't be buried. If you had only one match and entered a room in which there was a kerosene lamp, an oil burner and a wood burning stove, which would you light first?
The match. The match.
Match first. Matchstick first. Even to burn anything else, you need to light the match first.
That's cheating. Actually,
That is not cheating. That is simple common sense. Some months have 30 days, some have 31 days. How many have 28 days? If a doctor gave you 3 pills and told you to take one every hour, how long would they last?
1 hour.
It will last only 1 hour, not 1.5 hours. First pill you take now, next pill after half an hour, third pill at 1 hour, no? So 1 hour only, not 1.5 hours. How far can a horse run into the forest? This is intelligent, witty one.
If he gets tired,
Or are they scared of forest?
will he find water?
Horse can only run half into the forest because rest of the half is running out of the forest. No? No, this is technically correct. How far can a horse run into the forest is the question.
All PJs are also technically correct.
No, PJs are not technically correct. PJ is not technically correct. PJ is a PJ. Some may be technically correct. An archaeologist claims he found gold coins dated 46 BC. Do you think he did? Explain. Don't tell me there was no gold coin in 46 BC. How can there be no gold in 46 BC?
he must have found, he must have done carbon dating and
They would be not dating then.
he must have done the carbon dating.
You cannot find gold coin dated 46 BC because BC means before Christ. How will you know 46 years before that Christ is going to be born 46 years later? Technically, there cannot be a coin called 46 BC. It could be a gold coin which you may say was existing in 46 BC, but it won't be dated 46 BC.
Yes, right.
Two men are playing checkers. They played 5 games and each man wins the same number of games. There were no ties. How can you figure this out?
I think they play with each other.
That's the point. I never said they are playing with each other. They played against different opponents, that's all. If I dig 3 feet by 10 feet by 20 feet holes at a rate of 5 holes per day, how much dirt will be in the hole?
Take 2 apples. Take 2 apples.
Oh, take 2 apples from 3 apples and what do you have?
2 apples. 2 apples.
Good, don't say 1.
Take only 2.
You took 2, how much do you have? 2. If I dig a 3 feet by 10 feet by 20 feet holes at a rate of 5 holes per day, how much dirt will be in the holes on the 3rd day of digging?
Now, if the question is too long for me to even think about it.
Exactly, the answer is there will not be any dirt. There are no holes, dirt in the hole because you have dug it out. You went into mathematics. Are kitne kya?
It's too long. I just went to the next question.
No. Is it legal for a man to marry his widow's sister?
He said.
I am greater than God and more evil than the devil. Poor have me, the rich need me. And if you eat me, you will die. What am I? It can't be money. Poor don't have me. So much it has come. Answer is not money. Answer is nothing. Poor have me, meaning poor have nothing. The rich need me. Rich need nothing. And if you eat nothing, you will die.
That's right.
You get belted by the children. This whole thing.
Children love it. 2 mothers and 2 daughters were fishing. They managed to catch 1 big fish, 1 small fish, 1 fat fish. Since only 3 fish were caught, how is it possible that they each took home a fish?
Because it was a mother-daughter. Grandmother.
Simple. Grandmother, mother and daughter. There are 5 oranges in a basket. How will you distribute the oranges to 5 people such that 1 orange is left in the basket?
The last one is in the basket.
Last one you give it with the basket. You can choose, you see, either you can choose to do this activity at the beginning or you can choose it to do now or in the between, whenever you like. Suppose you feel it is getting little dull, put this activity in between. Why did we do this activity?
Open up your.
One is to think alertness, second is you have to be in the present to think clearly. Third is, this is called, some of them are called the lateral thinking questions. Because we only think in a certain sequence and certain type. But we don't understand that there is other solution possible here. Like simple, na, those checkers game. Now we take it for granted na, that they are playing against each other. They are playing against 2 different opponents. Very simple. No, it was not even the length. It is the hidden assumptions that we put. Yeah, those are hidden assumptions. So, A here is for act in the present. So now I need 4 volunteers. Quickly. Not same volunteers, 4 different volunteers. Put it on. 2 have come, 2 more. One One more. Yes, come. चलो. अरे पावर लगाओ उसको और वो चालू हो जाएगा फिर. पावर क्यों नहीं लगाया? हाँ?
I can't think I'll get a photo.
Get one more person.
You should have told me, I would have volunteered later.
One more person. Quickly.
Come, Nirupa.
चलो वो टेबल लाओ यहाँ पे और वो रखो 4 बॉटल.
Everybody heard the treat and yet did not volunteer. What is
The straw.
जल्दी लाओ. उसको दबाओ ना, वो पावर लगाने के बाद उसको रिकॉर्ड बटन दबाओ.
It's a cocktail. Imagine.
दो इस तरफ, दो उस तरफ. दो इधर के साइड और दो उधर के साइड.
One has to drink it because
Yeah.
I'm on a strict diet.
Okay, then let somebody else come.
Come on, Nirupa. Hey, you can drink.
With mango. With mango.
Come on. Two this side, two that side. Quickly.
Okay.
अरे बॉटल के सामने तो खड़े रहिए. Okay, now the condition is you have to hold your hands back. You cannot touch the bottle with your hands nor the straw, and you have to just bend down and drink. Whoever drinks the fastest. No, you can touch the straw with your mouth, not the hands.
At this height.
Yeah, so you have to bend down and just with your mouth push the straw inside and sip. That's all. It's simple activity. 1, 2, 3, go. Who finished first? She finished first. Very good. Well done. Milind bhai finished second.
That's why there's palm tree.
There is no pulp inside.
Now you can hold it. You already got the results.
They both still can't finish it.
She's enjoying it.
It has something to do with being on the right side.
Nothing to do with being on the right side.
You
See?
never said to finish it.
Huh?
You never said you to finish it.
No, I said you have to finish it. Whoever finishes it is the first is what I said.
Rest is over.
So we have to happy to finish it.
Okay, then I'm
You're
failed.
supposed to finish it.
You can finish it.
There is no memory card inside it. It's a hard disk. There is no memory card inside it. It's a hard disk.
I was trying to find what was the
Part of the act.
Okay, leave it. Okay, so the point is now what? Bottle is the same, straw is the same, drink is the same. Why two people finished it and why two people didn't finish it? They don't like it? They are putting in more effort if you saw.
We look so
Even they taken it in the hand and still they are drinking and nothing is happening. You just look at it. Why is that happening?
My mother always taught me to finish it.
Perseverance, come on, finish it. Still this much is not good.
His straw went there.
The problem is I know what part of the story is, Swamiji. So
Straw is bent.
Straw is not working.
No, it's not about the straw being bent. Then you can do whatever else with the straw. Everybody's straw is the same size, by the way.
It's really extraordinary.
You check your straws. Everybody's straw is it the same size or not? Check.
Something is
It's the same size,
No.
about.
almost.
But anyway, it was in the bottle.
Yeah.
No, the straw does not make a difference.
Straw did not make it.
Mine is slightly
Little bigger. That doesn't mean anything. The hole is still at the end, which is from where
Little
it is.
bigger. You think? This is not little bigger for me.
Compared to
I think you ate half your straw.
yeah, it was proper
You said
before.
finish it, so I don't know.
You ate half your straw.
I tell you.
You know.
See, the straw had holes, which some people don't know. That's why if you see in the world, please go back. Give them a big hand. Thank you. So, when we do this activity, the idea is the goal is the same, effort being put by a lot of people is same, sometimes it is more also. And yet why some people succeed and why many don't succeed. The reason is because the straw had holes, same way our mind has holes. So we are not able to live in the present. So A is for act in the present, don't be complacent and don't get carried away by the three leakages. In this case, were they complacent? No, they were putting a lot of effort. Still they were not able to succeed. Why? Because we are not in the present and we get carried away by three leakages. What are these three leakages? One, memories of the past. Two, anxieties of the future. And three is excitement or distractions in the present. Memory of the past, anxiety of the future, and distraction in the present. I am explaining that to you. Saying anxieties of the future. Regret of the past, anxiety of the future, excitement in the present.
In that activity, act in the present, live in the living present.
You can go through it later because time we will run short of. So once the presentation is over, we will keep it here. Whichever you have missed, you keep writing. So these three are the leakages. If time permits, you want to elaborate, you can elaborate. Otherwise, you don't even need to do this activity. Just that questionnaire part is enough. I am giving you a big one. You can cut depending on how much time you have. The whole module is what I am presenting here. So how do we get out of the regret of the past? Simple mantra is, so what? If it happened, I can drop it, bounce back. So what if I could not get a certain percentage? So what if somebody did not accept my proposal? So what if I didn't get a promotion? So what? Will I continue to keep cribbing, complaining, regretting? I can say, fine, learn the lesson from it and drop the regret. That's how one bounces back. If I learn the regret, then I bounce back. So the mantra is, so what? And bounce back. Anxiety for the future, the mantra is CI to IC. Meaning, can I do it too? I can do it. Because our anxiety prevents us from even attempting. How do I get this I can attitude? By faith and knowledge. Faith that yes, I can do it, and where I can gain more knowledge, because future, many times what happens, I don't know certain things. If I can find out, then I am more confident to handle it. Like what will happen if I go to USA? There may be an anxiety. Then what do? I find out. No? Okay, this is the living condition there, this is the social circle there, these are my relatives. Then the anxiety comes down. So where knowledge is possible, I should gain the knowledge. And where I can't find out, I must have that strength that whatever comes, I will face it. That is the faith part. So, can I too? I can. It's just some memory aid for children. Excitement or distraction in the present, they go away when I focus in the now by attention. Get the mind fully where the hands are. This will happen if the first two have happened. We are not able to be in the present and bring the head and the heart together because we don't get over the regret or the anxiety for the future. So this is about how to act in the present, right here and now. Head and heart together.
Naturally, the work becomes excellent. Excellent work shall produce excellent results. We cheat ourselves from our successes by our unintelligent dissipation of the mind in our over-anxiety for the fruits thereof. Krishna is giving a tip to Arjuna. Here is a wonderful field for you to achieve. And in achieving, do your duty. Fight out the battle. Let every arrow go and hit the point that you want to hit. Don't worry about the future. Don't evaluate that their army is larger than our army. Don't dissipate and distract your mind. Keep your mind calm and serene. Your anxiety must be excellence, is the goal. Learn to work thus with your mind where your hands are working. We don't do it. We work with our hand, our mind is wandering all over. So the hand that is working is a mindless hand. Mindless hand cannot afford to expect any great results. Think. Keep your mind where your hands are functioning. Be here now and act. We are never here. We are everywhere, but not here. See? Either we are wandering in the past, I should not have done it, I don't know why I did it, or you are in the future, will I get the result, etc. You are never here and now. Think. Learn to be here and now. Bring all your mind and your attention and awareness there where the hand is doing a job. The performance will become excellent. Excellent performance will always give you excellent results. Here is a tip for how to achieve excellent results with your work. Continue.
Last alphabet is R. R for result acceptance. See, it's very important to do the best and leave the rest. Otherwise, one will be in the stress. And whatever result comes, one must accept the result first. This becomes so important because non-acceptance of the result only creates a lot of disturbance. We saw this even in emotional transformation. Why do people commit suicides? Why do they go into drugs? Why do they hurt themselves, harm themselves? They get angry, they throw things. All that happens a lot because of non-acceptance. And nobody teaches us how to accept the result, whatever is the result. They only tell us how to aspire for success. And especially when result is not up to my expectation, then how to accept it. That nobody told us. So let there be acceptance of the result with humility, contentment and cheerfulness. This philosophy of the do the best, leave the rest is not to say that don't expect a result and just work. Nobody can work like that. We expect a result and work. But whatever result comes, we also accept that result with cheerfulness. Okay, this has come now. If not cheerfulness, at least with humility, fine, I could not perform better, so I got this result. Or even if I perform better, there may be factors because of which I didn't get the result what I wanted. Let me accept with humility. So let your actions, not results, determine your life. Meaning, even if the result is not according to my expectation, my focus should be on what can I do next. But if I allow the result to ruin my peace or to make me excited if I get the result, then I am allowing result to control my life and not action to control my life. So here are a few simple examples. We will make it more colorful. I just added them as I was coming. So guess. During my school, secondary school, I was dropped from school basketball team. Who is this? Simple, Michael Jordan. I was rejected for the job in All India Radio because of my heavy voice. Amitabh Bachchan. I was rejected in the interview for becoming a pilot. So many times I have given the example in my talks. Many of you have heard it. Even in emotional transformation, I think I spoke about it. Abdul Kalam, I said, exactly. See? No, I didn't hear that. No, I didn't hear Abdul Kalam, I heard other names. It is Dr. Abdul Kalam. I used to serve tea at a shop to support my football training. This I don't think you will guess. Huh? Not Bachchan. Narendra Modi is also another example, but not for football training. Huh? It is Messi. Lionel Messi, Argentina. My teachers used to call me a failure. Tony Blair. I was in the prison for 27 years. Nelson Mandela. All these people accepted what results they got and made the best out of it, did not ruin their lives. Many examples you can give. So many. I just put a few. Idea is to make people aware that if the result is not according to your expectation, your life is not doomed. You can create your life as you want. So, to summarize, this is our learning. C for L for love what you do and do what you love. E, excellent teams. A, act in the present. R, result acceptance. Done. Let us do the pledge. Please stand up. Ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. My transformation transforms the nation. Together we have to say that. I transform, you transform, we transform, okay, I transform, you transform. जोश से बोलना चाहिए. That is the passion with which we are doing this movement. I transform, India transforms. You transform, India transforms. We transform, India transforms. Thank you. So you also have a sheet there which is the handout about how to know what